I need Botox, but I don't want it. It looks painful. Getting that in there, no thank you. I'd rather have one of these. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Thank you for being here. So on today's video, what we're doing is we're going to do the Botox bangs. So the Botox bangs is, as you can see here, this center parting is doing nothing for my mannequin. So we're going to be putting some shape and open up her face so it's more youthful, and so you don't need to invest in Botox. How you say? So when you're getting Botox and you're trying to get rid of the wrinkles on your head, this fringe is going to come in here and it's going to give you coverage on the forehead, something that you want to get masked or covered over if you're already thinking about Botox. Watch this, and afterwards you won't need to get any. So when it comes to wearing your hair like this, I've been doing a lot of research and looking at a lot of people on the internet, how they are wearing their sort of hair later on in life, a more mature haircut. And the reason that this is called the Botox bangs is because we're going to be covering the forehead, or we're going to be making your appearance seem less wrinkly, which is what you do with Botox. But you don't need to do it with this, because the fringe is going to do it all for you. And it's all about getting the correct amount of hair on your forehead to complement everything else that's going on. So it doesn't have to be a bob, it can be longer hair, but you have to take into account, bit of hair flying about, how much hair you're going to have on the forehead, because if you have too much, it could be suffocating and it can make you actually look that little bit older. If you have too much hair sitting here, if it's a little bit look like a bit more floaty, a little bit lighter, that's where you get the youthfulness. Reason for is because when you are maturing, we're losing hair, our hair is getting thinner. If we've got too much on the front, it looks a little bit too try hard, it could look a little bit too fake. This is why when we come to cutting the Botox bangs, I'm going to show you a rule of thumb as to what to give your clients. Or if you're a client watching this and you're saying and you're thinking, I don't need Botox anymore, I'm going to get a Botox bangs, I'm going to take this to my stylist. The stylist just needs to understand that they get their comb, one of their tools, and if you want to get any of my tools, combs, clips, scissors, razors, foil, balayage boards, anything, cameras, it's all down in the description below, so make sure you check out there. We grab our comb and we put it on the sort of flat point of our head. So that front piece, that flat plane there, that's how we put it. And we put it right from where the fringe is starting. And then that gives us a really good understanding of how much hair we actually need to put in here. And on this mannequin, we don't need to put too much in, because it's only got a small little curvature on the head. And the reason we use this as a indicator is because normally our hair recedes and goes back or gets thinner. And that's how this is going to show us how much hair we actually need to take. Because if the hair is going back further than what it used to be when we were younger, that will just give us a point of reference as to, right, we don't want to be taking too much hair, but that's what's going to give us the right amount of hair to put into this person's head or hair style and give you a great looking fringe that is called, yep, the Botox bangs. Right, so you can see I just need a tiny little triangle here, and another rule of thumb is taking it from there to the corner of the brow. I don't want to go any deeper into there. Reason again, if we start coming through here and taking this away, it'll end up making this thinner, and we don't want to do that. We want to keep that density and making that look fuller there. So all I've done is I've done that there. I'm just going to do an above shot so you can see what I'm talking about. So you can see I've got this tiny little triangle just there, and how I did that, I put my comb where I'm looking from is from that hairline. So resting the comb on there, and you can see there, I can fit my finger, or I could basically fit something underneath there, because the head is starting to move away from that comb just under there. See, I can get my nail under it. So that's where we want to go through there, and we want to be taking that through there to the corner of the brow. So I'm just going to neaten it up slightly. But you can see how small this little triangle is for the fringe. We don't want to overdo it. We want to be keeping as much density and weight all through here. This is just going to really complement it when it comes to styling and having something that's just going to cover that forehead, so you don't need to get any Botox, because this is Botox bangs. So you can see there, I've got that tiny little triangle. And if somebody had a bigger flat point on like a flat plane of the head, that's what we call them, flat planes of the head. Wherever you put your hand on your head and it's flat, that's a flat point or a flat plane. So I could do that on somebody, and it could be a really big flat point on the head. And that is where I would section to, but I would still work to the corner of the brow. So it would go back quite far, but it would come down a lot steeper. So I wouldn't be cutting into here. I'd be going here and then cutting right through there, because the shape of our head is what makes haircuts. It's what makes haircuts look better on you. And if you're working on these points to understand how to cut hair, you're going to give clients a great haircut, and clients, you're going to get a much better haircut. Right. So I'm going to use my Ochre 14 inch, that'd be massive, 14 teeth texturizers. And what I want to do, because the bangs, I want them to really bunch in the middle once we've styled it. So I'll show you that as well. But I don't want it to be like really long, because I want to be able to, for that hair to cover that forehead through there. So I'm just going to take a middle piece, and I'm going to use the bridge of the nose as my guide. So I'm just going to take a little piece there, that piece in the middle, and there's my guide, cut onto the bridge of the nose. Now I'm going to bring the hair up, and we're going to angle it at a 45-degree angle, which is there, that angle in there, it's 45 degrees. I'm going to get my texturizers. And I'm just going to pop that middle guide in. Let's take these away. So there's that section there, nice and floaty, nice and soft. Now what we want to do is I'm going to push this. There's my guide, I can see. Push that corner of that hair over. And then once we've done that, because we've pushed it into the middle, you're going to get the edges longer. So I'm just going to over direct again, just get that hair out, and just clean up if there's any length left that there shouldn't be. Because these are texturizers, we're not getting one clean swoop of hair. But you can see there, just swooping and covering that fringe or that forehead on that side. So again, let's take that piece there. Let's grab the other side. Over direct it, pull it over, elevating. Take that off. Now we just want to push it over here. See if there's any longer pieces. Couple. There. So there's the Botox bangs raw. We're going to take these out. I'm just going to wet it down. I'm going to blow dry it, and then I'll show you exactly why this is the fringe that you're going to want to be wearing. So there we go. I just did a little wrap dry technique, which is just making sure that we're just wrapping that hair back and forth, using the head shape to encourage the natural hair fall of the hair. Fingers and thumbs, we're just bending it away. And did you see with the brush as well? I just sort of give it a little bit of a bend, pick up a penguin. Who remembers that? But this is what we want. We want it short enough so it's not in the client's eyes or in your eyes if you're a client watching this. But you want it long enough so you can get the bends on the edges, but so you can really push it into that middle, so it's covering that forehead. So you don't need any Botox with this fringe. Look at it. She looks about, what's she look, about 12 now? Takes years off. But yeah, in all seriousness, that is the Botox bangs. Let's just let it down a little bit. But you can see you've got this shortness in here, which is just hiding these lines on the top of our nose that we get. If we've got those frown lines or anything like that, that is what that fringe in the middle does. And then because we've got that like edges, which are just a bit longer, just gives you that coverage. And I think it is probably what most people want to be wearing instead of getting Botox, because you can change it. Let's put it into a side parting. Because we've got the length on the sides as well, it's easy to push in, to push over to, because if it was all one length, you'd struggle getting this over to here. But because this is sitting longer, pushing it in just blends. See? Still got the coverage on that forehead. But it's just a great little fringe for anybody who's concerned about any like lines, wrinkles, or anything like that. Or if you're thinking, I need Botox, but I don't want it. It looks painful. Getting that in there, no thank you. I'd rather have one of these. The Botox bangs, fringe, trend. No worries. So, if you've enjoyed it, please let me know in the comments down below. As always, please give the video a thumbs up, subscribe, and until next time, I'll see you on the next video.